The international break is over, the Premier League is back, and what a game we have to begin with. We have the title race and the battle for top four all rolled into one. So join me as Manchester City take on Liverpool. Today we are going to be previewing that very game. Please like the video and subscribe, that really would mean a lot to me. But now, let's talk Manchester City against Liverpool. Here we have both sides. This is how I believe that Liverpool and Manchester City are going to line up. Obviously Liverpool on the left and Man City on the right. We're going to be running through the team lineups and then we're going to be having a look at the tactics. We have Alisson in goal for Liverpool. Van Dijk and Konate make up the central defensive back two. We have Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson as the fullbacks. And that's all standard. And then we have a midfield three of Henderson, Fabinho and Elliott. This is the same midfield three that beat Manchester United 7-0. So they have a good confidence together, and I do think that Jurgen Klopp will trust Elliott to be that little bit more defensive in this right-hand midfield position. Mo Salah and Darwin Núñez are on the flanks. And then we have Cody Gakpo as the main central striker, or false nine if you will. We move over to Man City now, and we have a back four of Walker, Diaz, Laporte and Ake, with obviously Ederson in goal. I could have gone for Rico Lewis, number 82. He's impressed me a lot this season, especially with his ability to drift into midfield and almost partner Rodri in a central midfield position, allowing Gundogan to go forwards. However, I do think that Ake's physicality and his ability to really be a dangerous presence in both boxes is something that's going to keep him into the side. The same for Ilkay Gundogan almost. I think his physicality in midfield is going to be able to help to offset the likes of physicality that Henderson and Fabinho both possess. Kevin De Bruyne up in front of these two, making sure that he's able to drift wherever he pleases, to be able to link up play, and also to be able to find their main striker Erling Haaland. Riyad Mahrez and Jack Grealish will be flanking the sides with the likes of Phil Foden out. So how is this game going to play out? Well, I think that Liverpool understand that they're not quite at their level yet, which means that they're going to need to taper their game somewhat, alter it, to be able to deal with the firepower that is Manchester City at the Etihad. It is without a doubt that Man City need this game technically more than Liverpool, which means that they understand how important this game is going to be. And to be honest, at the moment, fire for fire, blow for blow, I don't think that Liverpool are going to be able to make it up against Man City, especially if both sides are firing. So how do they combat that? Well, I think we need to turn our minds back and have a look and have a think at how they played so well against Man City at Anfield. They won the game by 1-0. Mo Salah played in a central striking position, and they made themselves incredibly difficult to beat with Elliott out on this right-hand side. Milner was in place of Alexander-Arnold, and they just made themselves very, very compact, and that's actually what I believe they're going to be doing against City at the Etihad. They're going to make themselves extremely difficult to beat, but they're going to be cheating in a certain way. They're going to have Mo Salah and Darwin Núñez almost cheating here, and you can see how compact I've made Liverpool. This is so that Man City don't go through them. I believe that they understand they have enough physical presence in Van Dijk and Konate to be able to deal with the physical presence of Erling Haaland. I understand that he is an absolute monster. However, I think Van Dijk and Konate would back themselves in any kind of aerial duel. So I think that's almost the lesser of two evils. Darwin Núñez and Mo Salah are then going to be the threat in behind. Once Liverpool do get a transition, and they will get a transition due to the tenacity of Henderson and Fabinho, Elliott can make a tackle or two as well, and once they do that, they're going to be able to get those passes into these wide areas, into these channels, or even perhaps, depending on how open Man City are, they might be able to go through the middle, and it's going to be in these situations that I believe that Liverpool are going to be their most dangerous. Darwin Núñez is an absolute threat on the counter-attack. He's a nightmare. He gets himself into so many attacking opportunities, and so does Mo Salah. It only takes a couple of chances to be taken, and Man City are going to be extremely, extremely worried. As for Man City, how do they play? Well, obviously, they're not going to change how they play all too often. They're not going to really be altering their game. However, there are a couple of things that Man City could do to make Liverpool's life just that little bit more difficult. And one of those things is really allowing Gundogan to float. And what I mean by that is if they can get a way for Ake or perhaps Rico Lewis, number 82, to drift into midfield, what's going to happen is Gundogan is going to be able to just drift and float away. And I do think that on this side, Elliott will become a little bit lax. And I don't think he's going to be able to track the runs of Gundogan for the entire 90 minutes. This will allow De Bruyne and Gundogan to pick up pockets of space. If I highlight these for you, because I think it's incredibly important to understand where the major pockets of space are going to be for Liverpool. It's going to be in these channels. Haaland is going to be occupying the width of the 6-yard area. We know this. We know where he likes to get things. We know how he's going to play. Mahrez is going to be out on this wing, and Grealish will be here as well. But when this happens, you're going to have the likes of Gundogan and De Bruyne occupying almost these half spaces to be able to drag players away. And if I just drag a couple of players down, and you can see already that the space, this is very easily done by the movement of Man City, the space is going to be opened up, and just a little flicker of space is all that Kevin De Bruyne needs to be able to play a perfect pinpoint pass into Erling Haaland. It only takes one. Once Liverpool go behind, it's going to be much more difficult for them to really come out of their shell and attack Man City. Yes, they both play high lines. Yes, Man City can really be attacked. Yes, they can be thwarted by their own high line. However, with Liverpool going forwards, I think there's more threat for Liverpool going backwards than there is for Man City, and for that reason I think Jurgen Klopp is going to opt to be that little bit more conservative. Now, with Cody Gakpo, he could do a job on Ilkay Gundogan. He could try and make sure that he can follow the runs, but then you leave Rodri just being that isolating pivot, making sure that he's able to pass the ball to the flanks. It's all going to be about how Liverpool transition the ball and making sure they're defensively resolute. It's going to be about Van Dijk and Haaland, and making sure that Haaland can't get any major space. Now, no defence has been able to really occupy Haaland for the entire 90 minutes. He's always had some kind of a chance. However, with Van Dijk, Konate and Fabinho, I do believe that it's going to be an opportunity for them to really show their mettle. A lot of question marks have been placed over Virgil van Dijk as to whether he can be a leader and how good of a defender he is. Have we been overhyping him? I'm not so sure. But it is a perfect opportunity for him to prove himself. Rodri and Gundogan, especially Gundogan with this floating role, with De Bruyne in both of these channels, I'll highlight them here, are going to be extremely pivotal to the way that Man City go forwards. Ake will not be drifting into midfield, which means it'll be all on Rodri. Perhaps he could swap it out for Rico Lewis, again number 82, to try and play that central midfield role. Laporte coming across, Diaz coming across, and Walker. We haven't even mentioned Kyle Walker, who will be in an amazing battle with Darwin Núñez, and that is the final thing that I want to touch on in this review, or preview I should say. The last thing I want to mention is all of the duels that will happen in this game. So you think about Walker on Núñez, you think about Mahrez on Robertson, you think about Alexander-Arnold on Grealish, you think about Gakpo and the battle with Rodri. It's all of these things. Gakpo will go on to Rodri, by the way, and he'll make sure that Rodri is not able to really be that pivotal, isolating pivot. The problem with that is that if Gakpo strays too far, it's going to make it difficult for Liverpool to really maintain their shape. And then you've got other battles as well. You've obviously got the major battle between Van Dijk and Erling Haaland, Konate and Erling Haaland. It's going to be an extremely interesting game to watch. It's going to be very entertaining, and I've got a feeling that Liverpool might be able to do something. I've just got a little inkling. I do think that they are very good when their backs are against the wall, and I think they understand that they need something, especially for their top 4 hopes. A draw in this game would be absolutely amazing for them, considering the fixtures they have coming up, and I think they will do everything in their power to try and make sure that they can obtain it. Man City are a juggernaut, and they will believe that they can win. However, the running power of Darwin Núñez and Mohamed Salah, along with their quality and their ability on the ball, especially in the transition, if they regress to something that's a little bit more direct, I believe will give them dividends. I've got Liverpool in this one. How do you see it going? It's going to be a cracker. That's it for today, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave the video with a like and subscribe if you haven't, for more content like this coming very soon. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well. You don't want to miss what's coming up in the near future, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who is winning? Is it Liverpool or is it Manchester City? Tell me how and why. I would love to hear from you, so get involved in the comments. But like I said, that's it from me for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, my friends, take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.